Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of Francis Entertainment Center. Last stories today, Texas and Walking Small. Enjoy the video. At Goo Lagoon, where SpongeBob, Patrick, and Sandy are playing in the sand. Sandy makes some sand in the shape of Texas, which is soon destroyed by the Goo Tide. A despondent Sandy walks off sadly, while SpongeBob tries to cheer her up and offers to play with her, but Sandy explains that she was just feeling a little homesick. SpongeBob and Patrick then blindfold her and take her to her tree dome, which only adds to Sandy's depression. She begins crying and runs off. Both SpongeBob and Patrick are confused until they hear Sandy singing a song from on top of her tree dome about how much she misses Texas, which made everyone else suffer from her song and cry. They decide to cheer up Sandy by throwing a Texas-themed party for her at the Krusty Krab. They go to Sandy's house to ask her to come to the Krusty Krab with them, but she tells them that she is leaving Bikini Bottom to move back to Texas. SpongeBob is shocked by this and tries to convince her to go to the Krusty Krab, but fails. Sandy gets into a bus out of Bikini Bottom and leaves. Patrick accidentally insults Texas by calling it dumb, asking what is so great about it. Suddenly, the bus comes back and Sandy returns, and angrily berates Patrick for bad-mouthing her hometown. Patrick then asks if he can say that people from Texas are dumb, which angers her even further. This gives SpongeBob an idea to lure Sandy to the Krusty Krab. He and Patrick continue insulting Texas, such as about the people and the stars being dull. Then an enraged Sandy begins chasing them. They intend to lead Sandy to her surprise party at the Krusty Krab. Patrick continuously insults Texas, thinking Sandy is too slow to catch up to them, only to soon realize that she is very fast in catching up to them. Realizing that insulting Texas was a bad idea, SpongeBob and Patrick are forced to run for their lives. Sandy lassos Patrick and pulls him to her, and a nuclear explosion is shown in the background as he disappears. SpongeBob, still hoping to reach the Krusty Krab, begins screaming as he runs as fast as he can. Sandy's lasso reaches SpongeBob the instant he reaches the door of the Krusty Krab, and she attempts to pull him to her as he holds the door with his pinky finger. Eventually, this causes the entire front of the building to be torn off, revealing the party inside. Then everyone says, "Howdy, y'all!" Sandy realizes that home isn't about barbecues or pecan pies, but how much her underwater friends care about her, and that Bikini Bottom has become her true home, and decides to stay. The crowd is happy about this and starts cheering. Suddenly, Patrick, who has survived the explosion during the chase, once again insults Texas. With Bikini Atoll, Sandy gets angry once again, and Patrick asks if he should start running again. At Goo Lagoon, Plankton arrives in his bulldozer to turn the beach into the future site of Chum Bucket Mega Bucket and demonstrates everyone to leave. However, due to his tiny size and small voice, nobody pays attention to him. He concludes that he needs someone bigger to assist him, and encounters SpongeBob walking on the beach while singing a song. Plankton decides to trick SpongeBob into being assertive in order to get what he wants. SpongeBob tries to buy ice cream but gets cut off once, and then has his ice cream stolen before the vendor runs out. However, he finds Plankton complaining about having an extra ice cream cone he did not want. SpongeBob offers to take the extra one, and as he eats it, Plankton offers to teach SpongeBob how to be assertive. He tries to get SpongeBob to take his ice cream back from the person who stole it, but SpongeBob's kindly nature prevents him from being able to take it. Plankton, unhappy with SpongeBob's performance, climbs into SpongeBob's mouth and uses his words to forcefully take the ice cream. Afterward, the guy who stole SpongeBob ice cream runs off crying. When SpongeBob points this out, Plankton lies and says there were tears of joy, saying that the guy was happy that SpongeBob was assertive. Next, Plankton attempts to have SpongeBob forcefully take back his metal detector that he lent to another beachgoer, yet SpongeBob misinterprets Plankton's instructions, and the person that he lent the detector to is led to buried treasure by SpongeBob. By this point, Plankton decides to give up, but SpongeBob promises to prove his ability to be assertive. Therefore, Plankton allows SpongeBob a chance to turn things around. SpongeBob commits a series of both assertive and antagonistic acts to beachgoers, including stealing the hot dogs of people waiting in line to buy them, cutting the strings of people's kites, and even worse, popping a volleyball that the beachgoers wanted to play with, resulting in everyone leaving the beach. Plankton then reveals his true intentions to SpongeBob, making him very upset. Plankton taunts SpongeBob by saying nice people always finish last, only those who are aggressive get everything they want. Suddenly, SpongeBob has an epiphany and defeats Plankton by becoming aggressively nice, and he undoes the actions that led everyone to leave Goo Lagoon. Plankton sadly leaves the beach due to the crowd returning in response to the overwhelmingly generous acts of kindness that SpongeBob performed. Lastly, everyone plays volleyball using SpongeBob as their ball.